Chapter 11, Baby Feet Again. Jimmy reminded me about the opening of his father's one-man show. Last summer, Tootsie walked barefoot across one of Frank Fargo's wet canvases, leaving a path of little footprints in the blue paint. We thought Mr. Fargo would go crazy when he saw what happened. Instead, he got an idea. He had Tootsie walk barefoot over 24 wet canvases, and now those paintings were going to be on display in an art gallery in Soho. "I like shows," Fudge said as we were getting ready to go downtown. "I know," Dad said, zipping Fudge's jacket. "Will they have singing or puppets?" "No," Dad said, "just paintings." "A show with just paintings?" Fudge was surprised. "Did you hear that, Pete? A show with just paintings." "Yeah, I heard." Mom came into the living room carrying Tootsie, who was dressed in some black velvet outfit that made her look like a baby movie star. "Where's the babysitter?" Fudge asked. "We don't need a babysitter tonight," Mom told him, setting Tootsie down on the sofa. "You're leaving Tootsie home by herself?" Fudge was even more surprised. Mom laughed. "No, we're taking Tootsie to the show." She was trying to get fancy shoes on Tootsie's feet, but Tootsie squirmed and kicked, making it impossible. Mom finally gave up and stuffed the shoes into the diaper bag. "You're taking Tootsie?" Fudge still couldn't believe it. "Of course we're taking Tootsie," Dad said. And just look at our girl. She's mighty pretty tonight, isn't she?" "She's too young for a show," Fudge argued. "She won't understand it." "Without Tootsie, there wouldn't be a show," Dad reminded him. Tootsie held up her arms to me. "Uppy, P." She waited for me to pick her up. When I did, she pulled my hair. "Hey," I said, which only made her laugh and pull harder. Fudge hung on to me, tugging at my jacket. "I don't want Tootsie to come with us. I want it to be just you and me, Pete." "I know how you feel," I told Fudge, remembering all those times I didn't want him to come along. "But you'll get over it." A banner announcing Frank Fargo's show hung outside the art gallery in Soho. It said "Baby Feet" in big, bold letters, and under that, Frank Fargo. Inside, huge, colorful paintings hung on the walls. When the canvases were spread out on the ground last summer, I didn't realize how big they would look hanging on the wall. You had to study them carefully to see the background of baby feet, but there they were in every painting. The paintings had names like Baby Feet Blueberry and Baby Feet Strawberry. There was one called Baby Feet Storm and another called Baby Feet Earth. Fudge looked around. "Where's the stage?" he asked. "Where's the seats?" Dad explained. "It's not that kind of a show. It's more like going to an art museum for a special event." "Where's the event?" Fudge asked. "This is the event," Dad told him. "No fair," Fudge cried. Dad," I said, hoping to escape before things took a turn for the worse. "I'm going to find Jimmy Fargo." "Take me," Fudge cried. "Please, Pete, take me with you." I hesitated for a second, then gave in and grabbed Fudge by the hand. But it was crowded in the gallery, and I couldn't see Jimmy anywhere. "I could walk across paintings, too," Fudge told me. "I could do it better than Tootsie. Tootsie doesn't go to school. She's not even toilet trained." "But she can make animal sounds," I said, trying to keep it light. "Who cares about her dumb quack-quacks and her stupid meows?" People began to form a circle around Mr. Fargo, who'd put Tootsie on his shoulders. "Here she is," Mr. Fargo announced, "the star of my show. The one, the only, Tootsie Pie." Tootsie laughed and grabbed a hold of Mr. Fargo's hair. She's probably his biggest fan. And I'm not talking about his paintings. What does Tootsie know about art? For some reason, none of us understand Tootsie likes Mr. Fargo. And Tootsie's the only person I know who can get Mr. Fargo to smile. Which he did now, as flashbulbs went off. "She's my inspiration," Mr. Fargo told the crowd. The crowd applauded. "Is Tootsie famous?" Fudge asked. "Yeah, just for tonight," I answered. "And she probably won't even remember." "I was famous once, right, Pete?" "Yeah, you were famous for about a week when you rode the toddler bike for Dad's TV commercial." "I remember." He looked up at me. "How about you, Pete? Were you ever famous?" "Not yet." "Don't feel bad. You're famous to me." He gave me a big smile and squeezed my hand. "Thanks, Fudge." When Dad caught up with us, I said, "It would be cool to have a painting by Frank Fargo, especially one with Tootsie's footprints." Fudge broke away from us and reached out to touch Baby Feet Strawberry. "How about this one?" Dad grabbed him from behind and pulled him back. "No touching," he said. "Why not?" Fudge asked. "Because your hands might not be clean." "They're clean. Look," he said, holding them up for Dad to see. "Even so," Dad said, "you aren't allowed to touch paintings on display." "Why not?" Fudge asked. "That's the rule," Dad said. "It's a stupid rule," Fudge said. "We don't say the word stupid," Dad reminded him. Yes, we do, Fudge said. We just don't say it about people. If we want to say about people, we say turkey brain. Ask Pete, he knows. Now Fudge pointed to Baby Feet Storm. How about this one? This one would look good in my room. We can't afford these paintings, Dad said. Look at the prices. He pointed to the numbers on the title cards. Those are prices, I asked. There weren't any dollar signs, just a number followed by 3 zeros, making every painting $6 or $7 or $8,000. More zeros means more money, right, Pete? I'll say. So that's good, right? Depends on if you're the seller or the buyer, I told him. Which are we? Neither, Dad said. We're friends. No zeros for friends, Fudge sang. Dad asked me to help keep an eye on Fudge while he went to greet someone he knew. I can't believe this, I said, more to myself than Fudge. What can't you believe, Pete? That somebody's going to pay $7,000 for this painting. So, Pete, he began, and he got this greedy look in his eyes. I knew it was coming before he even said it, but he said it anyway. We could get Tootsie to do the same thing at home, and then... I interrupted. Yeah, except nobody would pay us thousands of dollars for a painting. How come? Because we're not artists like Mr. Fargo. But Pete, that doesn't make any sense. What can I say, Fudge? That's the way it is. He swung my arm up and down. We think the same way, don't we? Before I could answer, before I could say, no, we don't think the same way and never will, someone came up from behind me and stuck a finger in my ribs. I spun around. Gotcha, Jimmy laughed. Where have you been? I asked. I've been looking everywhere for you. Yeah, it's crowded in here. That's a good sign. So what do you think? He stepped away from the paintings and studied them at a distance. He squinted, then made his fists into binoculars and peered through them. I did the same, and when I did, all those swirling colors looked like they were moving. Cool, huh? Jimmy said. Yeah, amazing. You're not thinking you could do the same thing, I hope. No, why would I be thinking that? I don't know. You just have that look on your face. What look? Never mind. A woman in a black dress and dangling earrings shaped like skyscrapers stuck a red dot on the Baby Feet Storm card. She looked familiar, tall and scrawny, with a lot of curly hair and a long neck. Yes, Jimmy pulled a victory fist. There goes another one. Another what? I said. Another painting. When a red dot goes up, it means that painting is sold. Wow, I said. $7,000. What's it like to know your dad is rich and famous? Rich? Fudge said. Jimmy ignored him and eyed me. First of all, the gallery gets half of everything. Second of all, since when are you so into money? Me into money? I said. That's a joke. You want to see someone who's into money? Look at my brother. Fudge started singing. Money, 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 I love money, money, money. Then he skipped away. A minute later, someone tapped me on the shoulder. Well, 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 she said, if it isn't my old friend Peter Hatcher. It was the woman in the skyscraper earrings. She was carrying a shoulder bag with a small dog inside. As soon as I heard her voice, I recognized her. It was Giraffe Neck, this woman I knew last year when we lived in Princeton. She owned a gallery there, right near the movie theater. One of Frank Fargo's paintings hung in the window. It was called Anita's Anger. One time I went in and told Giraffe Neck I personally knew Frank Fargo. But what was she doing here, and why was she carrying a Yorkie in her bag? I reached out to pet the dog, but it barked at me. It's okay, Vinny, Jimmy said, scratching the dog behind his ears. Peter's a friend. You know her dog? I asked. Sure, I know Vinny, Jimmy said. He walks backwards even when he's barking at you. Backwards? He retreats, Giraffe Neck explained. Yeah, that's it, Jimmy said. He retreats. But he loves Jimmy, Giraffe Neck said, tousling Jimmy's hair. Vinny never barks at Jimmy. Then she was gone, back to doing business. Jimmy watched her for a minute, then turned back to me. What? He said, as if I asked him a question which I hadn't. I didn't say anything, I told him. But you were going to. Well, yeah, now that you mention it. Didn't you say something about getting a Yorkie? Jimmy nodded. I thought so. A few minutes later, I caught a glimpse of Giraffe Neck across the room with Mr. Fargo. It looked like he was nuzzling her neck. Jimmy saw me watching them. Am I missing something here? I began. Or your father and Giraffe Neck? They're going out, Jimmy said. They're talking about getting married. Married? Could you not say it like that? Like what? Like it's a disaster or something. I didn't say it's a disaster, I told him. I'm just surprised, that's all. I mean, I'm supposed to be your best friend, so how come you didn't say anything about your father marrying Giraffe Neck until now? It wasn't official, Jimmy said, and her name's Beverly. Beverly Muldour. And if you want to know, she's pretty cool. If you say so. The only bad thing is this means my parents aren't getting back together. Did you think they would? Jimmy didn't answer. Come on, Jimmy. Your parents can't stand each other. That's why they're divorced. I don't want to hear that, Jimmy said, especially from you. You said you're supposed to be my best friend. Okay, sorry. Just because they're divorced doesn't mean I want either of them to marry someone else. But you said giraffe next cool. Yeah, but what does she know about being a parent? Look at it this way, I said. Your father doesn't know much about being a parent either. You can say that again. So how bad could it be? Your father seems happy tonight. That's tonight. So maybe he'll be happier more of the time. Jimmy shrugged. Beverly says she won't try to be my mother since I already have one. She says we'll be friends instead. But what does that mean? I don't know. Maybe you should just wait and see. It was after 9 p.m. by the time we got home. Tootsie was asleep in Dad's arms. Henry met us at the door to our building. Mrs. H, he said, you've got visitors. Visitors, Mom asked, at this hour? Warren, are you expecting anyone? Dad said, I can't imagine who it could be. I know, Fudge said. It's Grandma and Buzzy. No, it's not your grandma, Henry said, handing a note to Mom. Then I'll bet it's William, my teacher. Why would your teacher come to your house at night, I asked. Because he likes me, Fudge answered. Not everything's about you, I told him while Mom opened the note. She read it out loud. Dear Tubby, she began. Oh, no, I thought. Oh, goody, Fudge sang. It's the Howies. Let Mom finish reading, I said. Mom started again. Dear Tubby and Ann, we finally made it to the big city. We're in the van parked right around the corner. Can't wait to see you again. Your loving cousins, Howie, Eudora, Fauna, Flora, and Farley. Well, Mom said, what a surprise. Surprise, I thought. That's one way of putting it. Dad passed the sleeping Tootsie to Mom. You take her up and I'll go see about Cousin Howie. I'll come too, Fudge said. It's way past your bedtime, Mom told him, and tomorrow's a school day. But I'm not tired, Fudge said. Look, see how wide I can open my eyes? All right, but don't be long, Mom said. What about you, Peter? She asked as I followed her to the elevator. I'm feeling really tired, I said. I think I should go right to bed. She tried to feel my forehead, but with Tootsie in her arms, it wasn't easy. You're not getting sick, are you? Yeah, I am, but not the way you think.